Go live. You are live. We are live, Ethan.
Dope.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
你好. Yeah, Ethan Wu. Yuxuan. That's your
Yeah.
Chinese name. Yeah,
Yeah.
very sophisticated name. Wu
Thank you.
Yuxuan. I don't even know. Like, if I see Xuan by itself, I wouldn't even know how to pronounce. What does Xuan
Mm.
mean?
I think it means it's a character that people in older time used to describe like a house, but it's more like a temple house, something like
Mm,
that. It's
mm.
yeah, it's more like a it's not yeah, it's more like a house, I would say. But
Okay.
it's like a house there, something like that.
I'm gonna write it down in Chinese in here. 吴宇轩
Dope.
Xuan. Let's see. It's number three. 吴宇轩. Thank you. My son is here. He's taking Chinese class in Chinese class in Columbia University. When
Mm.
he was young, he doesn't want to study Chinese. Now he's 20. He wants to. So anyway, tell me a little bit about where are you, Wu Yuxuan?
I'm in China right now. I went back. I flew from New York to China late August because of the pandemic. I can't stay too long, and so I'm in Changsha right now.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit about Changsha.
Yeah. So
Hunan Changsha.
yeah. So Changsha is like the southern part of China. It's a little bit north towards the like north next to Guangdong. It's like the Canton province, and it's just a nice city. It's not it I kind of talk to people. It's like a smaller version of Boston, but it's
Mm,
definitely not that fantastic as Boston. I lived in Boston for 4 years, but it's not kind of like that.
yeah.
So the city is just chilling.
Mm,
It's a lot of food, drinks, and people just go out a lot.
mm. And you guys are your food is very spicy.
Yeah, it's spicy
Yeah,
food.
yeah. And 湖南小辣椒. I have friends I used to play German music with when I was in college. She's from Hunan, and then so
Hmm.
we call her 小辣椒. 小辣椒, it means a little red pepper, right? And then
Yeah.
also has another
Oh,
meaning this person is kind of spicy, kind of spunky, right?
yeah.
Kind of sharp, right?
Hmm.
Don't mess up with the 小辣椒. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Now, I would like to read a short biography of my filmmaker, Wu Yishen, Ethan. Ethan is an emerging filmmaker photographer. His dark short, Asian Americans, Youngin 2020, has just released on November 4th, 2020.
Yeah.
Born and raised in Changsha, China, Ethan lived in various cities in the past, including Beijing, Boston, New York City. He travels frequently between the US and China. He works as a freelance filmmaker, specialized in producing short form narrative films as well as documentaries. His work has been shown by major news outlets, including Phoenix New Media. Ethan Wu graduated from Emerson College with a bachelor's degree in media art production and a minor in photography. So check out Ethan's website, www.yuxuanwu.com, which I will show you later. So,
Thank you.
welcome, Ethan. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Now, yeah, so you have just released your um, latest work. Is called
Yeah.
Asian Americans Yangon 2020. So tell us a little bit about how does this work was born? Like, what was the original idea of it? And then did the original idea materialize or sort of a segue to something else?
Yeah, so I started the project in 2019. I think it's in August. So it's kind of like funny story because uh, I first know Andrew when I watched the a segment that the Daily Show did with Andrew Yang, and I just curious about like there's an Asian guy running for president, but I didn't think too much because back then there's like 30 candidates running for president. I'm like, okay, there's another one, and I didn't pay too much attention until like a few weeks later when the company reached out to me to say, hey Ethan, you are in US right now, and we know there's a person named Andrew Yang, an Asian American running for president, specifically a Chinese American running for president, and we're just interested to see can we do a film about him. And it's funny because at the beginning our original idea was to follow Andrew for like a day or two to go into the campaign just to see his life because we initially were interested in him as a person, but as things go, things doesn't really go that way too much.
Can
So
you tell
we
us, Ethan, can you tell us the company, like what company?
Yeah, so it's the Phoenix New Media. It's in Fenghong Wang in Chinese. So
Mm.
it's one of the major news outlets in China. So they and I used to work there before I came to US. So I had a working relationship with them. So from time to time they reach out to me to say, hey, do you want to make a film about blah blah blah, and we reply. So we reached out to Andrew's campaign a few times, but that was in August and September. So like the campaign is on trending right now, on trending at that time. So they kind of getting busy, and we were not able to talk them into making a film with us. So we were like, think, okay, we're still interested in the topic in the project. Where should we go from there? So we brainstormed a little bit, and we were interested in to see because like I was watching news footage, doing research, and I saw a lot of Asian American, Chinese American supporters for Andrew. And at first, it might seem weird, like it might seem like intuitive that Chinese American supporting a Chinese American candidate, but in the past, if you do a little bit of research, you will know like Asian American hasn't really been engaged in politics. So I'm like, yeah, that'll be interested. So at that time, I just moved to New York City. So I'll say like, let's just see what's happening. So actually I first went to a rally in Philadelphia, and I met a Yangon, Asian Yangon there. Oh, I forgot his name. Sorry, but he first introduced me to New York Yangon, Kathy. So I reached out to Cassie, and Cassie
Kathy
talked to
Huang.
me. Yeah, Cassie Huang, and she talked with me generously about the overall landscape of what Yankees look like because she has been involved for a few months at that time. Then I reached out to like a dozen of Yankees and I talked to different people. And at that time, I met you. And actually, it was funny because I think I met you first time at the UBI march,
Yep,
right? And
correct.
we talked briefly, but you saw my camera and you're interested, and you're like,
Yeah,
hey,
I was
say
like,
hi.
ooh,
And at that time, actually, when I was doing research, I watched a lot of your film, so I know what you're doing, and your film actually informed me a lot about where to begin with this project. So I think the first video I saw of you is the phone banking video.
mm,
A group of Chinese Asian
youth, right?
parents bring
Yeah,
their kids to a phone banking event,
right.
and I was like, that's interesting. I want to follow that. So I reached out to you later, and the first time we had a conversation, I think is online, right? you post a post on Facebook saying, "Hey, we are interviewing Fred. Anyone want to help out to drive?"
Oh, yeah. So
I'm like,
Fred said, Fred the felon, Fred Ramin, who is a hardcore young guy, and wrapped his truck with Andrew Young's message. I've been following him, and I interviewed him on the phone. So I said, "Are you coming to New York?" He said, "I don't come to New York area." Then all of a sudden, he said, "I'm coming to up New York, in Wilson or something like that." And then so I was like, I only have 2 days to decide how I'm gonna go. So I was actually a little scared of going there by myself. So
yeah,
I posted on NYC Young Gan. I say, who will go with me? Because I've never met Fred before. I was a
yeah,
little nervous. So
mhm,
you answered me. You're so awesome.
yeah. Because at that time I know like I was interested in talking with you, and it's kind of like hard to find a time because like there's a lot of stuff going on. I say sure. Why don't we just talk and meet on the way?
Yeah. So you got here like I don't know. The whole trip was like we got here at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something like that,
Yeah.
right? In the afternoon, and we start to drive there. Anyway, by the time we returned that trip, it was 3 in the morning. Remember?
Oh yeah.
That was a 12-hour
We,
shooting.
we were so busy. We were so tired that day.
That was a lot
I
of
remember.
fantastic
I
story.
remember in the end
Yeah.
when we trying to get a shot of Fred's truck. I was so tired that I just I wasn't really caring too much because that's like one o'clock and it's so far away and the
Yeah.
day has been exhausted because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was thinking about what to do that day and a
Right.
lot of stuff.
Right. Right. But it was very fruitful though that day. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fred.
that was
Fred.
fun.
Fred was with us earlier. I don't know if he's there still. Fred, actually, I told Fred I'm going to talk with you, so he's watching.
Hmm. I
But
watched I watched your talk with Fred and you mentioned me and I'm glad he still remembers me.
yeah, I did. I told him, I said Ethan is going to be talking with me, and Ethan is the guy we came to visit you. So
Mm.
he was, yeah. So tell me a little bit about now. Can we talk about this? You have two versions. One version is
Yeah,
shorter for web,
yeah,
more
yeah,
web for Chinese. You have Chinese subtitle, English subtitle. The
yeah.
longer version is 19 minutes, is more like target to US English speaking people. So
Well,
what are the major differences?
I won't say it's targeted.
Oh,
Like
okay.
the 19 version is the
The
one
audience.
I want to make in the initially because that's what I care about.
Director's cut.
And yeah, it's because actually so I have been editing the film for a long time. So I finished shooting in March, and like the March when we had a Yangon event after Andrew dropped out, and that's the last shoot I was filming there, and the COVID hit, so there's nothing else we can do,
Yeah.
and so I have been editing that film from like March till August September, and it's a very painful process,
Tell me.
because like to be honest like this is one of my first time doing like a 20 minutes documentary, and I've been shooting. I feel like I'm not shooting enough, so it's kind of also like because the Yangon event doesn't really have like a like a chronological order of what's happening. So I was trying to find a story within the footage, and it's just kind of hard. So but 2020 influenced me a lot because like while I was editing the film, a lot has happened. A lot was happening at that time, like the Black Lives Matters and the pandemic and the xenophobia against Asian Americans was increasing. So a lot was happening at the time, and I was like, I should make this film more personal, and the film should have a message. So I edited so many times, so many drafts, and I don't even know the film is actually finished right now because I'm making another cut under 15 minutes right now
I see.
for different purpose. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah. Yeah.
It's painful. But yeah, so I do have another version, a more polished version of 13 minutes. And that film is more because, to be honest, like for online viewing, not a lot of people have patience for like what to watch a 20-minute film. And around 10 minutes to 15 it's the best length for a short film. So we're trying to aim that, and we cut a lot of stuff. And I can't say I'm 100% happy about that because it's kind of changed the film. It changed the meaning of the film to me. But the film is more polished and it's more compact, to use the word, to focus on your story and your journey as a Yang Gang supporters throughout the time.
Are you talking the one is the 13-minute one?
Yes.
Or there's another one?
No. There's only two. There's only two. No.
So why don't we just play a little bit of which version you want to play? Should we just play like 2 or 3 minutes?
Sure.
Okay. So should we play the longer one, the 19-minute one?
Sure. We can just play the intro.
Intro. Okay.
Yeah.
The one on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let me go screen share here.
Who's watching, by the way? Say hi.
Nick, can you see in the right-hand side, there's a panel people. Yeah, Nick is there. Your friend Jen Michael is there. He says, hi, Ethan, good to see you here. Another person.
Hi.
Yeah. And then Kevin Young said, this is so dope.
Oh, Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
So funny. So anyway, so we're gonna play a little bit.
So, like back in May, June, when they have like a vice president, senators, and mayors running for president, and we had Andrew polling at 1% at the time. What motivates you to go out and volunteer for a candidate who's only polling at 1%?
So this is the second trip today. The first trip I went to India headquarters. Now we're coming to the
cutting room for the fundraiser.
MC Jen!
He's hot!
He's hot! He's super hot!
Let's go, Yang Gang! Yang, gang, 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 yang, gang. It's the president.
I said I love math. Y'all better not laugh. And if you don't like Andrew, you can kiss my math. Yeah, say yeah, gang.
This event is not free, but an amazing future will be once Andrew Yang is in the White House!
New York City!
Andrew Yang! Andrew Yang! Andrew Yang! Andrew Yang!
It fascinates me, the truck. This is the first truck is wrapped with Andrew Yang's message. I want a shot of that. Where do I go? Left?
Left.
Okay. This is pretty crazy. Yeah, I see his truck.
Oh, this fucking truck. Fuck, man.
Look! Andrew fucking Yang! Wow. We made it.
All right, so you asked me to tell you a little bit about myself.
We made it.
I am Ching Juhl. My Chinese name is Chen Qing.
Oh, what do I think about? This is really amazing. Really amazing.
I came to the United States 35 years ago to pursue my musical career. Oops.
Dear
Oh,
friend,
yeah,
I have
stop
been
it.
an Andrew Yang supporter since May 2019. I have also
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So,
So just talk a
so
little bit about the what we just showed there. So the so when I was editing the film, I changed the intro several times, and like 5 6 times, and I ended up with this because so I saw the film with a question like um well like back in May June when we have Vice President Sanders and Mayor running for president, um and Andrew putting 1%. Why are you volunteering for a candidate who's only putting at 1%? And that's sort of what the film's about. To me, it's more about like why do we support why do we support Andrew? Someone say continue playing it.
you want to? You want to? Okay. Now, Nick said something funny. Hi, Al. How are you? Thank you so much. Al always watches my show, and I am a bit teary. Nick said, "Hi, Ethan. Awesome documentary. I'm not saying that just because I'm in it. Ha ha." Yeah, Nick is definitely in it. A lot of people are in it. So, all right. Should we continue?
Yeah, let's play it.
Okay. We have to go there.
produced 23 short documentaries films for the Yan movement.
I am live right now. This is in Bedford, New Hampshire.
Yeah, that's my career starts from here. May 14th, I went to shoot the rally in Washington Square.
We are marching.
Woo, NBC.
That's me. Beautified a little bit, you know. I'm not that white, you know.
I'll show you. I have lots of goodies. So we will give people this. This is Adrian's card. Business card has the policies on it. Is this Spanish version? Oh, this is English. So we have English and Spanish version, and then we have bumper sticker. Yeah, buttons. So many things. The good thing is about this Yangan. It's so obnoxious. It's so big. People start to ask me, say, "What's this?" I say, "Oh, this is Andrew Yang. Have you heard about that?" And then I give them a card. I give them a sticker, and I told them who Andrew Yang was. Yeah, that's called Yanning.
Well, that's why I'm trying to just get involved.
Yeah.
Donation,
To
exactly.
give
Yeah,
that way.
exactly.
And then
Volunteer night.
today we're learning how to do my fundraising.
Okay.
We set up a fundraising.
Then I met Yangan, New York Yangan. It's like I really miss them. If I don't see them, I want to see them.
Give $25 or more, and it will be returned back to you in $1,000.
Oh my God! Brooklyn Youngin! Come on in! Oh my God,
That's the best merch.
Yeah.
We have the
That's
best
great.
merch.
This is my husband. I yen my husband first. So
Yeah.
it is a yen game.
We're organizing a silent art auction for Andrew Yang. The
How
other
about the other
campaigns, though?
campaign? I want to know because I almost I want to clone my fucking self, you know,
Oh yeah,
and go to different, different campaigns to see how they do it.
exactly. Well,
I see this as an enormous movement.
Black Lives
Yes.
Matter and Asians
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
Together, this is
Asian.
new.
Asian.
If we can get the
What is
Asians
your
to come out and
background?
vote, which I need.
I teach in college, and then as a matter of fact, I quit. I wanted to devote my whole time to Yemen.
Any voters here? Come in. Democrat, Republican, Independent. Are you an American and do you like money? U.S. dollars.
One thing is that just that the future will not look the same.
$1,000 for everybody. $1,000. $1,000. $5,000. 5,000. I mean, why not? Why not, right? Why not? Why start with 1,000? Let's go big. Let's go big. 10,000. Why don't you just give everybody $1 million? Just say Just go ahead and spend it. Our economy will do great, won't it?
It's not like he could have chosen more than 1,000.
He could have. Why didn't he? He's going to start with 1,000, right? He's going to say, "Oh, let's start with 1,000. Give me elected first, right? Give me elected first at $1,000. Give me elected first."
You saying it's a bribe?
Give me elected
Are
first.
you saying it's a bribe?
Yes, sir.
It's not a bribe.
Okay.
It's something to lift the people that are on the bottom. Really,
So if you
put on the
succeed,
internet.
if you succeed in America, you get educated, you develop a company, you succeed in America. By God, that success needs to be handed out to the whole world, the whole nation, doesn't it?
The reason I'm so excited about Andrew, about what this could mean for the country, is because I feel like it seems like the world is getting darker and darker. Do you agree?
We have so much poverty in this country. We're supposed to be the richest country in the world, but we're not. We go out to bomb people. With one bomb money, you can save lots of homeless people. So the priority, I think, it's not straightened in this country. If you go to Midwest, or if you just go to Brooklyn, deep east of Brooklyn, you'll see so much poverty. People are so fucked up, I'm telling you.
Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Missouri, and Iowa.
Should we stop?
Sure.
Like Facebook and Uber, they make self-driving cars and displace a lot of workers. Where's that problem?
Okay, so you can you guys can see this film actually on Ethan's YouTube channel, which the link is below in the description. Yeah.
How do you feel watching it again? Just intro. I mean, not the whole. Like, there's a lot of stuff afterward. But how do you feel?
Well, overall, from filmmaking point of view,
or just like how about you? Like as a person, like how do you feel?
As a person, yeah. Every time I watch, it's like I almost memorize half of the things I said, which I don't remember before. It doesn't make old every time I watch this. I feel every time I watch, I learn something new from it, and it's very, very powerful. And the way you tie the story together, the way you zigzag, the way you put the music in the places that it really sort of link the whole thing together, So you did a really wonderful job. How do I feel? I did not realize. I did not realize we did such a wonderful job actually as Yangan to work together, and also so a little crazy. I see myself a little crazy. So, but it's a really,
It's been a year.
Really
from
good.
Today.
Yeah, it's been a year. Yeah, I started.
It's like literally been a year from today.
Yeah, I know. I started in May of last year, so it's been over a year. But how did you decide which music to pick? Like, who are these music samples? May I ask?
I purchased the music from online. It's called Audio Network. I just download preview the trial track. I try like maybe 40, 50 tracks just to see what's good. Yeah, it's time consuming when you have a 20 minutes film.
Yeah. It's like how do you decide which music to put? Like
Yeah. I mean, before before this film, I normally do like narrative film, and when I'm working in narrative film, I work with a composer to lay out to discuss everything about like what kind of music do you want, what kind of emotion. But this film is all me. Everything's me.
Yeah.
We don't really have the budget for everything, and during COVID, I can't just reach out to people about doing a film.
Yeah.
And it's a bit difficult. So, the film everything is done by me.
Yeah.
So it's not. There's a lot of stuff I can improve, but it's hard.
No, the music is very good, very subtle and very good. And the sound, the narrative sound. Did you do any more polish? Because you just came with your camera and with the little microphone.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
narration sound is pretty nice.
Yeah, so for the sound, I when I interview you, I use a lav mic, like the mic over here to capture your voice, to make sure it's the highest quality possible. And when we are out there canvassing and volunteering, I didn't have the best equipment, so I have a microphone on camera to record everything. But in post, I did do a lot of like compressors or denoiser to bring down the background noise of the clip, because like for example in the clip during the Times Square, it's very noisy.
Right.
And so I did my best to make sure it's still audible.
Yeah.
without a lot of noise. And like when there's nothing I can do, I just put subtitle on there, so
yeah,
people
right.
can know what's
right.
happening.
Right. So now, what?
Thank you, Nick.
What made you to pick me and Fulton?
That's a good question. So I talked to a lot of people. I talked to you, talked to Fulton, I talked to Ping briefly. I talked to Allison. I talked to Lydian, and I guess I follow Fulton because he's one of the volunteer organizer, and a lot of times just like it's a feeling. I talk to you and talk to Fulton. I feel you two are so energetic and pull up time into it, and yeah, I mean, a lot of times it's just a choice. And you do a lot of film. Actually, to be 100% honest with you, at first I was a little bit hesitant to contact with you because you're also a filmmaker, and it's kind of awkward sometimes. Depends on the topic to say like a filmmaker following another filmmaker. But you're doing so much and like so energetic about everything. So yeah, I decide you as the main character just by looking at the footage, and because of time limit, I didn't have too many shoot with you. I think I only have 4, including the interview, shoot that where you were there. So I actually have like limited footage of you. I wish, I wish if I can do again, I will shoot more following you and Fulton to play this.
Yeah. So now you did this project, and initially is because Phoenix Media want you to do it, right? It's not like you yourself decide to do a project. Now,
they take the initiative of asking me.
Yeah.
Because I do need the funding.
Yeah.
Not even though it's not too much, I do need the funding to support myself doing this. Right. But I put way too much time on this project, and then they pay me. So
welcome to the documentary world.
It become a personal project of myself.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you, like, does this project change your political view of America and also Asian American, or the whole just scoop of Yangon stuff? Like, does it make you a little bit different feel about politics and election and stuff?
I was very into politics before making this film. Like, for example, like when I was in college, I take like classes in politics and everything. I was very interested in the logic behind politics, like how the Constitution work, how the Supreme Court, the presidency, and Congress work. Yeah, I was also very interested in the logic behind everything. So and actually that understanding helped me a lot when I was doing this film, so I know what to look for. And speaking about if making this film changed my attitude toward politics, not so much. But this is indeed my first time, like in person experiencing like a campaign. So I know I know a lot more about the in and out of what's happening, because like imagine a campaign for presidency. It seems so big, right? It seems so like there's a lot of work doing. You just don't know what's happening. But by being with volunteers and Yang together, I know like it's actually just people. It's people on the ground, or people in the campaign going everywhere. It's just every person doing their job, trying to make something big happening. And making this documentary, it makes me like documentary more. The process, like I met so many wonderful people, as you also said in the end game, and it's just amazing. Like meeting so many people and talk to people from different backgrounds. It's fantastic.
Yes, wonderful. So, can
By
you
the way,
tell us? Yes.
So I know people are watching. Film just got released a few weeks ago, and I did my best. I'm trying to reach out to a lot of like Yang or Yang YouTuber, trying to help them to release to share the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of Yang like YouTuber like yourself. There's other people out there, and if people can share the film, mention it to people, that'd be great. I really want people to watch the film, at least to see what people are reacting to it.
Yeah. So check the film. It's in Ethan's YouTube channel, and also I shared on my Facebook. I shared on New York Yangan page, and you guys are welcome to share this. And I wanted to ask you a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about your background. You're like 24 years old only?
I'm 22.
Oh my God!
I'm
You're
22.
22! Oh my God! You're my
I'm
number
22.
4 son. I already have 3 sons, but no, just kidding.
Can you send the link? Yes.
So-
let me send the link first.
Yeah.
So,
The link is in the YouTube. It's in the YouTube. It's in the
I'm
YouTube
gonna
description.
share right now.
Yeah, you can
And
share it.
how can I how can I post?
Yeah, I can do that. So why don't
Can you do it?
why
I'm
not-
gonna share it in the chat.
I'll
And you
do
can
it.
post it.
Yeah,
You
I'll
got
do it. Then. I'll do it right now. Okay, it's already in the. I think I already put it in the, but I'll do it again. So
Just put it in the comment.
okay, I am going to put it in here. Oh, here we go. Hey, do you know that must be I didn't finish discuss with you earlier. It's Vimeo. If you put this version in Vimeo, which I don't know, you don't know, and then if you want to change, right? The great thing about Vimeo is you can
You can replace it.
Yeah, that's just such a great feature, isn't it?
I hope YouTube can do that.
Huh? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you miss something, or you want to add something, or you want to whatever, and once it's out.
Yeah.
You have
It's
to.
okay.
to-
It's
But anyway.
YouTube has a better platform. Yeah. So
So I was
back
going
to-
to ask you about you. Like you're only 22, and so what is your tell me a little bit about your upbringing. Like, what does your parents do? How do you become a filmmaker and a photographer, and then eventually go to United States to study?
That's a long question.
3 questions.
That's a long story. So I got into filmmaking, I would say around middle school, but I'm not one of those person who like watch film at an early age and fall in love with filmmaking. I'm not that type of person. When I was younger, I was more into like science and math. And during middle school and high school, I was involved in some like TV station work. And just throughout the time, I figured out like when I was applying for college, I was like, what should I do? And before committing to filmmaking, I was actually interested in like programming, like computer science. But I just cannot imagine myself sitting in front of desk for like 8 hours a day, five days a week, and I'm not taking that job. So I just applied for a film school, and I feel like I myself I have some talent in there, so I just like go for it. And yeah, so I went to Emerson College, graduated last year actually, 19. Yeah, I graduated last year, and I moved to New York to work as a freelancer, and just trying to make it work. And this is my first project when I moved to New York, and the COVID hits, and we're stuck at home for half a year,
Yeah,
which
I
sucks.
know. Who knows? It's a good or bad, because when you wanted to edit a film, it just the process is so long.
It's bad.
It's
I don't know.
agonizing, right?
Yeah.
I told you I've been editing a young game film also, and it's like I agonize because I have too much footage. I have
It's
about
gonna take a year.
100 hour.
It's gonna take a year.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like a call Nick. Nick. I have 6 hours now.
I
Now.
know. There's another filmmaker. I think I mentioned to you before. Beforehand, there's another filmmaker named Hai Tao, and he has been following Andrew Yang since 2018.
Yeah.
And I think everyone in the chat, Yang Gan, saw him one way or another.
Yeah.
His filmmaker has a big camera on his shoulder, following Andrew everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think they're making a feature, and I think the film gonna be released next year, 2021,
Really?
during summer, I would say.
Wow.
Based on my knowledge of filmmaking and the timeline.
He's even in my film because he's always there, and then so a lot of footages. In the last one, when Andrew Yang quit, suspended his campaign, only one person I called crying was Hai Tao.
Yeah.
So I had a little footage of Hai Tao crying. Yeah.
I remembered it. I remember the clip.
Right?
He's hugging with Zach.
Yeah. And then later on,
I watch your film a lot.
I know you watch my film. And then later on, Nick also was hugging him, but he was the very obvious person was crying, because it seems like a lot of people were just numbed. I mean, I see some people.
He was there very early on.
Yeah.
When there's only like 5 people in the office.
Yeah.
He was there.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so can you tell us a little bit about your parents? Are they in the media?
No, my parents do business. My parents are they have a company. They're doing business, and yeah, it's kind of weird, because like my dad, like 20 years ago, was in like printmaking business.
Oh.
So he was like somehow in like photography business, but he's not an artist or by any means. It's kind of we were talking the other day about this, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to show your website.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually just updated because I was organizing my work and my photography work, because I'm actually applying for grad school right now.
Oh, okay. Now this is Ethan's website. Did you make it yourself?
So I made the website using Squarespace.
Squarespace. Oh.
Squarespace.
Squarespace. Okay.
Yeah, Squarespace.
Okay. So these are the photos, right?
Yeah. So besides
I hear
filmmaking,
noise. I hear a little noise from your end. Okay, thank you. All right. So these are what is this thing?
So besides filmmaking, I do a lot of photography. I do a lot of fine art photography.
Yeah.
And so if you go to the top, you can see like the nighttime photography. So most recently, I'm working on a project called Just Like a Cinema Night. If you could click that.
Yeah.
So this is the project I was working on photography recently. And there's an artist statement over there saying, one night I was walking around the neighborhood near my apartment. As I was turning around the corner, for a second I saw a tiger hiding in the shadow of light. Turned out to be some bushes. somehow this image stayed in my mind, in my head for days. A tiger peacefully resting in the shadow. I was not scared or shocked by the image, but rather obsessed with the peace and beauty that exists in the scene. So yeah, this is my recent project of night photography. I just like this kind of imagery, and I'm still continue working on this. And there's like a few photographs you can clip over there. And okay, so this is another project I did back in 2017. It's called Tree Relocation. I like trees. Okay, so you guys know I like trees. And one day I was just like, how do people move trees around? Because a tree doesn't just magically appear in your garden. So I followed. You can click on the image to go next. So I was just following. You can click on the image, not on the project. If you click on the image, yeah. So I follow a tree moving company in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and just followed like how they use machines to move trees around, and it's kind of beautiful to see like tall trees moved by those like this machine called spade, and just move the trees around on truck to different places. It just it's fascinating to me. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, so yeah, that photo was it's a different project. That project just me like walking around like street photography, and that picture was indeed took in Puerto Rico. I was on a trip to Puerto Rico, and I saw that photo and saw it's just funny, so I took that photo.
Which photo?
It's in a different project called Walking Down the Street.
Walking down the street. Okay.
So it's if you click on show thumbnail, it's a few way back. Yeah, this project is kind of old. Yeah, this is the photo we were talking about.
Yeah.
This project's kind of old. I think I did it in 2016 or 17, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
So,
and besides that, I do some filmmaking.
Yeah.
I have the Yang doc on my website also, and besides that, I do narrative films.
Yeah. Do you have any narrative films you can show us?
Sure. Most of the films are not available online, but you can click to take a look. In the center of the screen, there's a reel. That's my like filmmaking narrative reel. It's very short. It's like 2 minutes,
This
3 minutes.
in the
Yes.
center here?
Yeah.
Oh, this? Okay. And then are there buttons? Oh, I just pushed. Okay.
Let's click it.
Do you have audio?
It's just music.
Okay. You can hear us, right? You can hear audio. Okay.
It's been a long, long time since I've memorized your face. It's been 4 hours now since I've wandered through your place. And when I sleep on your couch, I feel very safe. And when you bring the blankets, I cover up my face. I do love you. I do love you. And when you play guitar, I listen to the strings buzz. The metal vibrates underneath your fingers. And when you crochet, I feel mesmerized and proud. And don't say I love you, but saying it out loud is hard. So I won't say it at all. And I won't stay very long. But you are the life I needed all along. I think of you as my brother, although that sounds dumb, and words are futile devices.
Yeah, so that's my real. That's like a completion of some of my recent film, some of my recent film I've been doing, and yeah, just try to make it. Do you just mute yourself? Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, there's a little bit noise from my kitchen, so I muted myself. Anyway, so yeah. So now do you have a question for me?
Sure. Actually, I have a question about for the Yangan film, like if you can play it, like when they talk about like Asian American issues in the documentary, I kind of want to hear your reaction seeing that footage, like seeing that part, if you know what I mean. Like how do you feel if the film did justify what you're feeling?
Yeah. Well, I had like a little sort of mixed feeling about Asian Americans involving in politics. One sense is that you portrayed Asian Americans, me or Fotan or some other people are involved, and then there's a dialogue in it. You were asking me. Oh, I was telling you, I said, I live in a community of 150 people. And then you say, who else is yanning with you? I says, pretty much just myself. So there's like a two sort of messages. One is Asian Americans are very involved, proud that to have Andrew Yang. And then in the other hand, you displayed and you're not shy about that. You even did it twice in your film in one place, in the intro and later, that I said I was the only one among my community, you know. So there is a painfulness there for me personally. To tell the truth, I didn't even want my community people to see this because I was afraid people will not liking me because I said that, which is true, you know. And I am the one jumping around like a crazy person, you know. But I wish more people would join me. That's how I feel.
I think in the film I put a sentence by you in there saying like they don't have to be Yang, but they're simply not involved. So I think I guess I can understand like when I was with Yang and people out there, I saw a lot of people like interacting with each other. People are very enthusiastic, but like in the large scale, in the whole society, the participation in politics still very low. I mean, on the other hand, I also get it. Like people have a lot of things to do, and like politics can easily be the last things people care about. People care about the food, the rent, caring for the families. And but I just like I feel like it doesn't have to. It like people doesn't have to go a volunteer spending like 14 like 20 30 hours a week doing that. You can just be like more sensitive to what's happening and just be more engaged a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. But I think I hope you have to ask other Chinese Americans who are not young and how their reaction watching the film, because I am in, I'm in the soup. You taste already. I am in the whole mix, and I am not objective. The way I see things is the way I strongly feel, and as a young and as a filmmaker. So I probably would be nice to show the film, like do a watching party and invite friends who are young or who are not, or who don't really care about politics, and then ask them how they feel, about the film, right?
Actually, I reached out like a month ago to like New York Times Up Doc to see if they're interested in releasing the film. I just didn't get a reply.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, I do want to like more people outside of Yangon, just because I don't think. I do want people in general to watch the film. And see what's their reaction.
Yeah. But I myself, in the whole process of joining Yangon and then become a Yangon, there is really a steps. I did not immediately go to film Andrew Yang because I liking him. I went because I was curious, because my girlfriend asked me to go, and she didn't come. She lived in Boston, and she didn't even come to New York City, so I went anyway. So it's kind of random a little bit. Like, if she didn't tell me, I would miss the whole fucking thing. Sorry.
Well, there's still time. There's still time for you to discover.
So I went. That was May 14th. And then and I see people. I think that is like really confirmation about, the movement. And then I, slowly read his book, The War on Normal People. Everybody should read that book. That book is very easy to read. It's not very thick. Yeah.
I have a book right here.
I have a bunch of them. If you want it, I can send it to you. Oh yeah. And you can also listen to this online.
Yeah, I did it. I read it as my research earlier.
Yeah. So the book really did to me. And then I think, you know what? I don't know. Julian is Chinese. Okay, well, I have to give myself a little credits because I think he's Chinese. I want to support him, right? But that doesn't mean if he's a Black or he's a Latino, I would not do that, But being Chinese definitely does help to catch my attention. And also, he's young, and he is nobody. I like nobody, I like promoting nobody. You know what I mean? So though it's like a rebellion. Deep inside me, I'm a rebel, So because my son is already went to the college and I'm relatively free, and then so I was like, I get deeper and deeper sucked in, So in a good way. Yeah. So we are expecting Fulton to join us.
Let me go grab a charger. By the way, my laptop is running off battery.
Oh no! Hurry up! Should I play your film a little bit more?
Sure, you can play from where we stopped it, and I'll go grab a charger.
Oh, okay. Grab a charger. Yeah. Okay. Oh, 22-year-old is 22-year-old. Forgot his charger. Okay, so this is where we left off earlier, okay?
So he's saying it should go right back in your hands so you can invest it back in your community.
Andrew Yang, president.
has to be this coming 2020.
Yeah, volunteer tonight. We're trying to. If you're interested, we need 5,000.
This is last year in
don't really
Halloween.
feel any prior politicians speaks for Asian American or speak to me. I was never this passionately following anybody.
I'm going to speak to the Asian Americans. Many of you are Asian. I can't really precisely see the silhouettes. But as a numbers guy, I also want to be frank about our community.
I live in the community, co-op community in the Upper West Side. We have about more than actually 150 Chinese families. Guess how many Yangan is in my community? It's actively yanning. Pretty much just me.
We vote less than other groups.
But I'm gonna go specifically towards Asian American.
We donate money less than other groups.
How you doing? Would you like a ticket? All right, have a great day. How you doing, Andrew Yang? Search him up. Google Andrew Yang. How you doing? Search him up. How you doing, Andrew Yang? Search him up. Oh, he whipped out the phone.
We run for office less than other groups.
Man. What he said? He said that we need diversity in the volunteers. We're all Asian.
Oh.
We are a political afterthought in this country.
If you have a group of white supporters supporting a white candidate, but you wouldn't ask the same question, and why is that?
Do I look?
Yeah, Kelly, I hope. Hey, if you would, I'd be like, I shook his hand on Halloween.
I remember you, Kelly. You know, this is why America's not ready for. Oh wait, no, America should be ready for an Asian president.
Asians have not been involved, therefore they're seen as a invisible and silent minority.
They don't have to be Yangan, but my very close Chinese friends, they kind of like avoid me, avoid me talking to them about engineering.
When I was 14 or so, my dad was a physicist for IBM. But there was one time when he came back home and he was really angry. He was mad, and I was like, wow, Dad seems mad. Why are you mad? And he said something to me I'll never forget. He said, at IBM, when you can't invent anything anymore, they make you a manager. And so he said there were a bunch of Asians in the lab and then a bunch of white managers managing them.
It's true.
And I don't know if he was right. I was 14. But I remember internalizing this sense then that Asians are allowed to become this successful in this country, but we're not allowed to become this successful.
It's true.
And there was a very high-level Democratic official who said to a friend of mine that Asian Americans are regarded as a low-level ATM.
CNBC enlisting all the candidates here. Here are you as Yang, but they put up a picture of a guy named Jeff Yang.
And John Yang living his best life.
Can you imagine if they just screwed up another candidate's name? Like, would they ever say like Frank Biden or Sandra Warren? And I was like, that never would happen.
Do you think America is ready for an Asian president?
No. I don't think so. They didn't think Asian, can go this far. I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think a majority of people are ready. But since I've been in the United States for like 35 years, and I have never really did anything like for campaign, for presidential campaign. And I'm not that politically sensitive until now, because I have a 19-year-old son. At least the past 19 years, I haven't been busy being a parent. A lot of parents, they don't talk about politics. They talk about how to get their children get the best education, get the best school, go to the Ivy League school, and very little conversation about how to make our country better. If you really care about America, if you really care about the future of your kids, to be involved in politics or to be proud an Asian person is on stage.
So there are a number of things we can do about this, New York City. Number one, we can become a high-level ATM. But number two, we can start investing our energies and our support in the candidates that we believe in.
Buttons.
Grab your cards.
Yeah, grab your cards. Let's yan them. Let's yan. Okay, yan my neighbors, which I hesitate to yan myself. Now with the yan gang here, let's
You
just
have
go
courage.
down, and then people are saying, "What is this? You know, what is this? You know?" And they may ask, and then we say,
What about the
"Well,
party?"
we're yan gangs."
You're saying
But you haven't proved
5,000,
anything,
give them
though.
10,000.
You haven't proved anything, though.
With $1,000, bring them back up again. It'll at least give them a foot up to making it successful.
I don't.
We appreciate your feedback. Thank you for engaging with us. We definitely those points are well taken.
Thank you.
Hope you can just explore that a little bit more. If you know if you ever have a change of heart.
Yeah.
He does want to build bridges and engage with different sides, even if they don't agree.
It's Alabama. So, Alabama's very conservative.
Absolutely.
It's a different world than New York,
Absolutely.
But
you're still part of the country.
That's
and
right.
We're still fellow citizens.
That's right.
So,
That's right. We should work together, right?
And we
We should have a common ground. But you know what's dividing the country? Everybody's like division. This Trump supporter, this gung-ho Trump supporter is thinking Andrew Yang is the Pence. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think he's the Pence. I just don't think his views necessarily match up with mine. You know what I mean?
Try to fundraising for Andrew Yang.
That's the thing. That's like the fuel of the campaign, basically. The way that the rules are
You
set
have
up.
no money,
it's money,
no
money.
presidency.
There's no presidencies.
Ask me how much money I have given.
How much money have you given to Andrew Yang's campaign, Ching?
Oh,
What's up? Long time no
yo,
see.
Fulton, what's up, man?
Hi, Fulton. How are you?
Yeah, I was talking to Chen. Like I haven't
What
seen you
happened in
since
March?
March.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Coronavirus.
Add something.
Yeah.
Fulton, I'm gonna
Okay.
add your name, okay? Oh, New York
Yeah,
City. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I haven't seen you after the last Yangan event. I think it was it's end of February, right?
Yeah, something like that. Mhm.
Then the COVID hit.
Yeah. Now you're back home, right?
Yeah, I'm back home.
When's the time you're gonna come back? It's gonna
I
be
don't know,
long.
man. Like I was actually checking the how the visa application works right now, and like all the application work are stopped in China right now. Like at least for November and December, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm gonna get when I'm gonna get back.
So Americans are
No,
not
I'm
allowed
talking
to
about
go
like
to China?
I cannot get like a new visa. Yeah, and I
cannot
don't
get a
think
visa
if
either
if,
from
if even if I
education.
have a visa, I'm not allowed to enter. I think right now, right? I don't know if the policy changed.
What is your ideal school you want to go? Do you have an ideal school?
I don't know. It's I don't know until they accept me. I don't know.
So what are you studying?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm applying for either documentary or photography.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, you'll be a very experienced student among your school.
I had to have a visa to be there. I can't just go there. Yeah.
Yeah. But you've done a lot and as 22 years old. Fulton, do you know he's only 22 years old?
No, my goodness.
You know, I told you before, right?
I thought you were like 24.
Yeah, definitely.
I kind of okay. I had to admit, I kind of like stay away from this question when I was talking to you guys because like I feel like because like last year I was like 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
21. And I was
That's
saying,
right.
what are you doing here?
We met last year. I was like 21.
Credibility issues.
Yeah, so I'm like, I didn't raise too much about how old I am.
Good job.
But yeah, no, that just shows, you know, you're talented and you've accomplished a lot when you're so young. And welcome Fulton Ho. Let me tell our audience who Fulton is. Part of the reason Fulton is here because in Ethan's film, Ethan mainly featured Fulton and myself. Fulton is a community activist and member of the New York Humanity First movement. He joined Yangon in February 2019, and he has been organizing with basic income events as well as within the Asian American community. He works full-time in nonprofit and hopes for more Asian Americans to be civically engaged. Thank you, Fulton.
Thank you,
See you
Ching,
everywhere.
for having me on.
How's everything recently?
It's a little messy. I think everything on my end is good, but everything related to things happening with Asian community is a little bit of a mess. I think with a lot of small businesses, it's like how long can they hold up before a lot of them have to just close down for good. And so yeah, there's still in this, if you come back to Flushing, like some parts of it is pretty lively, but other parts it's you could noticeably see a lot of the empty stores.
I left New York in August, and I still remember like back in like July and August, like things are like returning back to normal, but I definitely see people like there's places are closed, and there's just less people on the street.
Yeah, it must be tough, huh?
Yeah.
The COVID, you know, to
And I mean, it has been like, how long has it been? It's been like 6 months, right?
Yeah. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9,
Not even like 7, 8 months
Yeah,
since the
8
COVID
months.
started.
Yeah, 7, 8 months. Right. It's hard.
Yeah, Fulton, I wanna ask you, like, how do you feel about the film?
I really liked it. I think you did a great job. I like both versions, and it was interesting.
You saw the both versions.
Yeah, both versions are good. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, he saw the shorter one first, right? And then saw
I
the
saw
longer
the shorter one. Why? What? 你怎么看听了有点遗憾 like you regret it?
It's okay. So I talked to Ching when I was doing the editing. Like, so when I was doing the final edit with the company, like the film is a bit too long, and they had like a different. I think they have different vision about what the film is more about. So the shorter version is more about like Asian American, Chinese American, what's happening during that time, and it's more about like what's the status, like what might be in the future. But like the longer version to me is more about like in general, like why people should engage in politics. But it just tells through the story of Asian Americans. So
yeah,
I guess it's just like me. I have like a different message I want to say.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was because like they cut some of the most important stuff to me, and I wasn't really happy at the time. But it's fine. It's like the shorter version is more compact and it's more focused on Ching and her story.
Got it. But yeah, I think it's interesting the parts you picked, and I'm just trying to think back on what other experiences we had together, and there's just a lot. It feels like a whole different time and age ago. Just everything before COVID, it just feels like completely just distant from here. Yeah. What moments did you like the most that you had the most fun?
I think yeah. So I was just talking to Chen before the live show that the most important moment to me is the Times Square event.
Okay.
Like during Times Square when a Trump supporter came to talk with Yang and you,
Yeah.
and like the conversation got very heated, and to me like that whole conversation kind of represent what's going on right now.
Interesting.
And in the end, like we talk to each other, say like at the beginning, like no one is listening to each other. Like I'm talking about what I think, and he's talking about what he think, and no one's listening. But like once we say like okay, like it's okay, let's just say like thank you, and we start to like to share like we all just here for common ground. And also like the other guy was actually pretty reasonable. Like he just had a different idea about what he believes, and I feel like that conversation in the end to me kind of represents what might be a future to me. Like people just have different ideas and we can just talk to each other and find common ground. Doesn't have to be division about like because it's also like about what's happening right now. Like you see people online trash talking to each other.
Right.
I wonder. I'm curious to think like what is that guy's opinion on cash relief now? If he maybe with everything going on, or maybe he doubled down on the just the negativity towards masks or any of that. So it's kind of interesting. They were all from Alabama. I remember it was coincidentally there was a tour group right on that day, and he by himself came up to us, and they were probably like half. They were probably like really far away from the actual. He was actually far away from the actual tour group, and he came to us, and that was pretty interesting. And I wanted to jump in and kind of address some of his points, but I think that the other guy, he was from Connecticut, Chet, but he was trying to coming at it from a more humanistic angle. So that was good. But,
I feel like you're talking about that. Like I feel I'm also curious about like what he thinks right now because you said like he came out of his group to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
And he definitely has like a strong opinion about what he believes.
Right.
And I hope. I mean, it's not even about like different ideology or different opinions. It's just more about like people should talk to each other.
Right.
And just hear because it's okay. Like we don't even have different. We don't even hold like the same opinions among ourselves on certain issues. So it's just
Fulton,
okay. It's okay.
Yeah. So Fulton, may I ask you a little bit? I see you in many events, and you are an organizer, and you have a very strong presence of being a strong young gun and community leader. How are you always like that? Like you're only 20 something. You're 20 what? 6?
27.
Oh, you're 27. And so you're 27. So can you tell us a little bit how you became a caretaker of a community?
Yeah, I mean that could be part of how I was raised by my parents, and they had a lot of family gatherings where they invited people over to the house and growing up. And besides that, when I was in high school, they would force me to take Chinese classes with extracurriculars. And then they will also force me to volunteer back in high school, and this is for extracurricular credits. And
I've all been there.
Like 3 years of summers doing volunteer work for the local city council member, and there's just like a lot of canvassing, a lot of voter registration, a lot of doing stuff like painting mailboxes. So, I don't know how useful that was back then, but I think it all was very valuable and led to like the thing that I'm doing now. And what happened recently within the past couple of years was I got a degree in engineering, right, and wanted to go more so in the technical construction route, but there was also a lack in the curriculum to emphasize on how to do more for the community, and so that led me to a more public policy route, and through that, I've been getting more involved within like the past 3 to 4 years with related to more so the Asian American community here in New York City, along with just things related to gig work, right? So one of the first things I got involved with was in New York City, they have a lot of delivery workers who ride these bicycles, electric bicycles, right? But at the time it was illegal, so they were getting $500 fines when they work about 12 hours and earn about $70 a day. And sometimes the NYPD will confiscate their bikes. So that's one of the issues I got involved with when I was interning at a nonprofit here. And from there, I was also doing some organizing related to fixing the subway, because a lot of stations here in the city, if you notice, they don't have elevators. So oftentimes you have a grandma or elderly or senior citizen, they would be carrying their grocery basket, right? They would be carrying it up the stairs. So that's a lot, like lack of just improvement to infrastructure there. And then at the time I was still in grad school, and then I was in a gig economy class, and they were talking about universal basic income. And this was in January, right, of my 2019 semester. And I was already like open to Yang, but I think that class even brought me enhanced my connection to Yang, just because so many people there were dismissive of him. And then at the same time, that's when I got more involved. And then I saw that there is a very rational and legitimate argument for what he was saying. And yeah, that's how I got involved in February 2019. And long story from there.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So what do you think? Andrew Yang now has announced a few days ago he's moving to Georgia with his family to help the two senators to win the seats.
Runoff.
I think that's good. I think that's good leadership on him. And I think that, one, he's actually doing something. And two, I think he's still, quite frankly, he's still got to build some trust within the mainstream Democrat and just throughout the political arena. And I think that Georgia, if you want to flip the Senate, I think, we got to get involved there in one way or another. And hopefully at the same time, he can be assigned and appointed a cabinet position. So,
yeah, that would be nice. So how do you think, Ethan, the American president does not recognize he lost? He keeps saying he has won and he doesn't want to give up. As a Chinese person, do you have any opinion?
I mean, I know, I'm more, I have more knowledge about American politics and what's going on than average Chinese people, and before the election, I was talking to my family. We know exactly what's going on. They're gonna be a blue shift after the election night, and Trump has been saying the fraud about it for months, and he's gonna continue to say that. We all know what's gonna happen, but to be honest, from Chinese media, the average Chinese people, they're just they're watching a film, watching a drama, as an audience. Also because of what's happening for the past 2 years, the U.S.-China relationship is kind of tough. I definitely see a lot of negative comments online about what's happening with election. There's there's too many dramas happening.
Yeah. So
I mean, I don't know, because on the other hand, I really don't want stuff to get bad, and I feel it's also a lot of people don't care about what's happening with America, and just because America is a different country in China. But I think Trump being a president or not. It's about like the humanity of to have like a better like society. So that's at least what I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Fulton, do you have you saw the film, long or short, and do you think we should do like a watch party or something, like having more people to see it, or how do you feel? See Ethan's film.
And definitely, I think so. Yeah, it's just I think right now it's just an important time. Just what it depends on what we tie it to. I think. Yeah, I mean, definitely we should have it watch party for it, and I think what will be the message you want to emphasize out of it?
I mean, to me, the central message of the film is just like why people should engage in politics. That's my takeaway from my experience with Yang Gang and making the film. It's really about to just like what Ching said during the interview. It's like care for the country and just care about your kid or things like that. And it's I know like a lot. I was just talking to Ching that like politics for a lot of people can be the last things they care about. You need to care about food, rent, care for the family, but it's pretty understandable. Like you don't have to put 20 hours a week into politics and everything, and you can just be a little bit more engaged. Watch the news, be aware of what's going on. I think that's kind of enough for all the people. And yeah, and also like I did try to get the film out to more people. I was on Twitter sending tweets to people, and I also like I was talking to Chen. I tried to get someone from the campaign to watch it if that's possible. I kind of wanted to see what's their reaction.
Yeah, it would be nice. Maybe I'll I don't really have like a close contact with Andrew Yang campaign. You know, I do have a couple of people like his finance person, Jeff. Maybe I'll send it to him. And Andrew Yang, you can also send Andrew Yang a Twitter message. Not that he will have time to watch.
I don't think Andrew has seen the film yet, Nick. I wish he did.
Say it again.
I mean, Nick said like has Andrew Yang seen the film yet? I don't think so. I mean, I didn't get any DM on Twitter or anything like that, so I assume he hasn't seen the film.
Yeah, Andrew Yang should see it.
Yeah, like I'm just me myself, so I'm trying to get it out as far as I can.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Did you upload your newest version onto your Vimeo or not? Or should we just show YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube is fine. I mean, I'm a little bit hesitant to put it on Vimeo to share for people because like people don't watch Vimeo.
Yeah.
That's like people don't know Vimeo at all.
But maybe do both.
Vimeo is good quality.
You can upload to Vimeo. That's
I will upload for Vimeo for
Yeah.
sure and
Yeah.
use the link
Yeah,
on my
because
website.
Filmmaker like to watch from Vimeo.
Yeah.
It's more professional look, you know. I mean, YouTube nowadays is very good quality. YouTube is almost as good as Vimeo, but somehow when we really Vimeo is better. Really,
Vimeo is better. Vimeo is
really.
better.
I
Yeah.
thought like YouTube is so good. Okay, so then you definitely should upload to Vimeo and then show the film world or even show campaign or show some other, I don't know, to important media, show them the
Yeah, I'll
Vimeo.
try.
Yeah.
I also like try to show like there's a lot of Yang Gang YouTuber like oh shit, I forgot the names. Yeah, but there's a lot of Yang Gang on YouTube. They're
Oh,
posting
yeah.
videos.
Young and You can show.
It's 2 a.m. in here, by the way.
Oh, okay. You
So
yeah, we're ending.
I'm a little bit.
Yeah, you're
busy.
tired. Yeah, there's a bunch of young guys. You know, Russell. You can share to Russell. He has a media. You can share to Tom. Send it to Tom. Tom, Nerds for Yan. Notes for humanity. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can come up with a list for you, Ethan.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna do
I
it.
think it's better for you to send to them. You know, it's kind of
Sure.
weird for me to send because it's not my film.
Yeah. I know.
It's like I don't need to promote myself. You know.
Understand.
Yeah. So, Fulton, do you have any other messages for us? Any yeah. So what do you? I have a question. So now, what is this? What do you see through the Yangan movement? Do you see Chinese community has gained more sort of interest politically?
That's a big question.
So actually, my views politically and with everything going on with Yang involvement has really shifted, and it's been a little bit back and forth. And overall, I just want everyone or anyone, whether they're Asian, American, or not, to engage to at least some point, and also be a little bit more rational and willing to hear from both sides, but also kind of trust the science and things, not dive into like really conspiracy theory kind of topics, and really be data driven about things. That being said, that's why I don't necessarily I'm opposed to Chinese Americans who are Trump voters per se. I disagree wholeheartedly with their policy stance and the reason why they support Trump, and I wish they didn't support Trump. But in terms of being active in New York City, they are extremely active. Like the conservative Chinese people, they're very active and they very much know how to mobilize a lot better than even some of the younger Asian Americans who are more so. I'm generalizing because there are Asian Americans who are active, but I'm talking about the crowd that's comfortable in their mid-20s in their safe jobs and whatnot. And so I think if there's ever a chance that we can gradually shift towards a third party or away from a two-party system, that would be great, because right now I don't think a lot of Asian Americans or any Americans really see themselves too close with either party.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Thank you. So, Fulton, thank you for joining us. Ethan, it's late for you.
It's okay.
It is late for you. It is.
Yeah,
very
it's
late.
it's still 30 a.m. in the morning.
I know.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I went to sleep pretty late these days.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he likes to stay up late, right?
People's party.
Like my son. Yeah, my own son doesn't sleep at night. Okay, great, gentlemen. That was really wonderful conversation, and everybody, thank you for watching us. Al, Nick, and who else is there?
Thanks everyone in the comment for the kind words. I cannot type in the comment, but I do read all the comments.
Yeah, thank you so much for. They're giving you tips on who you can send to the video.
Yeah, I saw the comments. I'm gonna do it maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, so thank you so much, and we'll see you again, Fulton. Some capacity soon, and then Ethan, good luck with your application for school, and hope you can get here soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be there next year for sure.
Yeah.
Just don't know when.
Okay, great. So we're gonna say goodbye, and thank you for watching, and thank you, for being with us. Be safe, everybody.